Welcome to 5 Pints In, the show where we're literally 5 pints in. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Now, if the results from the weekend weren't bad enough, or the one result for me, I've also lost the predictor.
Don't push it out, though. It's all of us here, mate, you know. There's more than just you.
I know, but you had a good result for West Ham, which I'm happy about. You also had a decent result in the end for Arsenal, considering what happened.
I couldn't foresee that being 0-0. I thought it could have been a draw, but 2-2, 3-3.
I think I had 1-1 actually, so
yeah,
I was the closest.
Couldn't foresee that. No, West Ham, great result. You know, we'll get to it in more detail. And don't forget Bournemouth, mate. And
4-2.
Carlisle are flying as well. Everton got back on track.
Yeah.
Fulham. So, I mean, I had a bit of a nightmare actually with the Bournemouth thing, to tell you the truth, because I started off because it was on the same time as Chelsea, and I had to stream the Bournemouth game. And when I got to, I think it was ESPN Plus, when I put the Bournemouth game on, I think it was 7:30 in the morning, same as Chelsea. They were already a goal down.
Oh, yeah.
And then I watched it, and then the second one went in for Reading. And 2-0 down, half time, I thought, I better get back and watch the Chelsea-Newcastle.
Yeah.
So I flicked back over, thinking it was disaster. And then I looked at the score at the end of the game, and he'd won 4-2. So I felt a little bit guilty for deserting them. But I knew, I mean, the Chelsea thing, I know, Con, you said you felt he played really well. I know they did. They looked like
not really well.
More of a complete side, I think. You know, defending, clean sheet. But what disappointed me, very similar to Tottenham, to be fair, is Steve Bruce lines up with a 5-4-1 at home against Chelsea. Now, you don't fear them anymore. I'm a big believer that you've got to go for it and go at teams. Mm-hmm. Because when they realise they're a couple of goals down or a goal down, they've got to go for it. They look like a better team.
Yeah.
And most
especially against teams like Chelsea.
Yeah, it would, you know, they would concede.
They have a terrible defence.
Yeah, you can't get at them. I mean, Rudiger even looked good, I think.
Yeah.
was made to look good.
Well, I'm going to butt in there because I have to neck this pint, and you just said Rudiger looked good, so I think that's a good place to butt in, isn't it?
I think you better make it a full pint before you start, though, son.
Okay. That's a good point.
By the way, you got to let everyone know why you're necking it, mate.
Yeah, so we're doing this point system with the predictor that we do every week. We put out our predictions on patreon.com/5pintsin every week. All right, that's full enough. and you just leave it here.
You're only going to knock it over anyway, Con.
Yeah. And basically, you get 3 points if you get the exact score, and you get 1 point for the result. And Ian had 9 points, Connor had 6, and I had 5. So Connor just squeaked me.
Mate, I'm thinking 9 points is a shambles, because this season I don't think I've got hardly any right.
I was about to say that's great for this season.
It's out of 30 total, isn't it? So I mean, it's weird. Things are getting a bit less wacky, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna neck this, and I don't know. You guys can either talk amongst yourselves or
go on, mate. You can ramble on about the Chelsea if you want.
Cheers.
Zuma's actually.
Werner looked up.
He's still starting him out on the wing for some reason, and
he's not doing bad.
Yeah, Tammy Abraham. I mean, he scored, but I mean, it's just gone in off the post. Like,
that's my boy.
I felt like I was on countdown then.
And you didn't say anything.
Yeah, I know. I was going to comment about.
Fucking hell.
What'd you say?
He rubbed your back when you was a baby.
No, this time I'm not going to be sick.
Werner looks great though, whether he plays out on the wing or up.
Yeah, he looks really sharp, mate.
Yeah.
He could have had a couple more, I think, as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. And he's
tried to show one of them.
He seems like a very unselfish player.
Yeah.
I love him. Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
As long as he stops falling down, mate.
As long as everyone stops.
Timo Werner?
Yeah, falling down.
Sorry.
I don't know. All I'm saying is I don't know. It's like he's relying on Tammy Abraham, and he definitely doesn't need to do that. It's the whole Conte thing again. When Sarri came and he admired Jorginho so much, so he played Conte out of position.
Yeah.
And then everyone else started playing Conte out of position. You know
what? Mate, he's the best holding midfield player in the league, isn't he?
Conte, yeah.
In the world, right?
Well,
yeah. Yeah.
In the world, yeah.
He could be.
He is.
Well, I don't know.
He is.
I like Declan Rice.
Well, no. Well, you just said he's the best in the league, but he's not the best in the world because of Declan Rice. He's in the same league. I think if Conte had been played and was being played in the right position, he'd be the best in the world. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think he's.
If they'd have left him there, Chelsea wouldn't have had the problems they'd had.
Left what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I just think, Sarri had this weird Italian way of playing where he wanted a pivot instead of a more defensive, aggressive player in there. And I think it just doesn't work in the Premier League, I don't think.
You can do that in Italy when it's slow enough to where Jorginho is one of the best players in there. Yeah. You can't do that in there.
One thing I will say, though, and I know
Rodri would be great for that position.
Yeah. And he is when he gets
he does
the
that.
chance. But City don't really play on that. I will get to City. But Rice actually has the physicality and the ball playing. I think he's got a long way to develop to be considered best in the world or even the league. But
I think both of them have that attribute where, the holding midfield, the class is holding midfield players, but they can both get forward.
Yeah. They
can both spring and break out, as long as they leave somebody.
Are you talking about Rodri and Rice or Conte?
Not Rodri, no. Declan Rice and Conte.
Yeah, Conte's he's definitely a better foot because for Leicester, I hate to say it, but he was mostly just, and for France, just gets in the way, gets the ball, passes it, gives it off 5 yards. He was going forward. He was made to actually shoot, and put in balls and give through balls and that. And it wasn't his strength, but I mean, he's definitely got a lot better at it.
Yeah, definitely.
And even before that, I thought he was the best holding midfielder in the world. Before he could actually play better football.
Yeah.
Since he played before.
I mean, Chelsea have. I don't know. I think Chelsea have a bit of a dilemma where they've got so many attacking players right now. I mean, it's clearly working out with their position in the league, but is it? Sorry, I'm still burping off that pint that I necked. All I kept thinking is I don't want to end up on a video like the one I made of you. Where it took forever for you to
that was terrible.
neck the pint.
That wasn't even a pint, was it? That was 12 ounces.
Yeah, and also it looked like I was
destroying it.
You think you're good at it? Where do you think you get it from?
Yeah, I know. That's fair. What's that?
I started you young.
Yeah.
Necking pints in the pub.
Yeah. Villa
playing forfeits.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely weren't necking them. How slow you guys chug it. I mean, I can't do it any faster, but I'm not
wouldn't be doing it for you, Con, would it? Because he's a whiskey drinker. The forfeit is the pint of beer.
Yeah,
exactly. The pint of beer last week. The Man City shirt was more of a punishment for you.
Yeah,
than giving you a pint.
I mean, I didn't bring over a shirt, so.
It's all right.
I'll mail you a couple of Chelsea ones though. Don't worry.
So, anyway, are we done with Chelsea then? I mean, I think about 2-0 against Newcastle about explains it all.
Fake table, as Trump would say.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to say.
The fake league.
Yeah.
They still have a chance. They can still win the league.
You know what? Right now, Southampton could still win the league.
Exactly. Yeah, but I wasn't going to say that. I'm not going to say. Yeah.
I mean, realistically,
1 through 13 can win the league, but Chelsea can definitely win the league.
It's just for me on the telly watching it after the weekend. I think it was before Liverpool played. They were already touting top of the table clash next week. Tottenham, Chelsea.
Yeah.
What a joke, mate! You might as well get to City because I'm about to spill up. I'm about to spill it all out.
Yeah. All right, so I'll start off with the good news. I mean, I was just going to say in the middle of that Chelsea United and then Tottenham City game, Villa did lose one against Brighton, which was quite shocking.
Decent game to watch.
Yeah. Brighton with the red card as well. I mean,
yeah.
It's just a shocking result. I know it was late, but
sorry, I just wanted to say
I wasn't me.
Sorry, I just wanted to say Chelsea are going to beat Tottenham though.
Well,
I just want to slide that in there.
Frank got one over on him last season, didn't he? Or did he?
I don't think. Well, I don't know. We don't have to go back to that. I just wanted to slide that in. I don't think either team's doing that well.
I don't mind him touting it as Mourinho against Lampard, but don't be touting it as top of the table clash. This 9 games in,
but I think
the way Tottenham played.
Yeah, I think this season, I don't think top of the table clash is going to be relevant until after Christmas. You know, like
the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, so we were talking before, like City still have a game in hand. I'm gonna come out there and say I don't think this is a hot take anymore, but I don't see City winning the league this season. I could see,
but Chelsea could win it, right?
Chelsea could, but I just see. I don't know. I mean, it's as sad as it sounds. I could see Tottenham winning it, but I think it's probably gonna be Liverpool. We'll get to the Liverpool game because I've got feelings about just how their team played, even though they were missing some of their main players and just the way they handled it. And I don't want to bull up Liverpool at all. But just the City game, I'll start off prefacing it. New 2-year contract for Pep, which is amazing, I think. I mean, I still think he's the right man for the job. I think he just give him some time to figure this out.
I didn't know he was under pressure, mate.
Well, he was. That's what it was made out to seem. Because I mean, his contract was up at the end of this season, and he's only just renewed. You know.
Yeah, but it's never.
He has that kind of relationship with the chairman, though, mate. That there's no animosity there. Look, they expect, obviously, because of the size of the club now, the money they spend, the players they have, the manager and the staff that they've got. Of course they expect. Mm-hmm. And what they've done over the last, 10 years?
Yeah.
Almost 8 years, whatever.
Yeah.
What they've done over that time. So people expect. Look, right now, they're not firing. For me, the biggest thing from the game of the weekend, they've lost a little bit of venom. You know what I mean? The goal scoring prowess, I think it was documented. What they got now? 10 this season?
9.
Last season it was 27 or something.
Yeah.
That's where they're now. I think that is I was happy with the lineup. That was a good looking lineup for me. And knowing that Aguero was back on the bench was fine.
Sorry, it is 10. Yeah.
I don't know what was up with Sterling, whether he was injured or what. I know he missed the internationals.
Yeah.
But if he's up there on the left side in place of an informed Torres, to be fair, after what he'd done on the international break, that's the strongest starting lineup as he's going to have.
Yeah.
Without Mahrez?
So
Mahrez started.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Mahrez, Jesus, and Torres up front.
Oh, yeah.
And Bernardo Silva came in, left side of Rodri.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Sorry.
And that back four is the back four for me.
It is the back four, yeah. Right. It is the back four. I just think there's some work to do. I think we missed Fernandinho. I think what we miss in Fernandinho, being in the not as a centre back, as a defensive mid, I think we miss him dropping back and like catching those runs of Son. Like Son took a few times as like not just for the goal, but like he ran in between Cancelo and Laporte. And I think Fernandinho would have given some order back there. He probably would have slipped back between the two centre backs, and I mean, I think that is the back four though. I really do. I think.
It's unfortunate for Ake right now. If that is the back four, whether he's fit or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still wouldn't mind seeing 3 centre backs and pushing Walker and Cancelo on, and then changing it up a little bit in the middle. If what he's doing right now. Because at times it looked like we couldn't find a way through.
Yeah. But that's how we've been all season. We're toothless, you know? It's like, to me, and I've said this before, it's like we want to get to it's like there's so much focus on the possession that we get to the end and we think, okay, let's turn around and go back. You know? And like, if you look at the average position of this game, and then when we played Tottenham 3 years ago, there was actually a graphic put up on one of the Facebook Man City groups. How we played back then was so wide and expansive, and it was like a real 4-3-3. It was like De Bruyne was sort of on like Gabriel Jesus' toes because he he wasn't like Jesus wasn't getting into the positions where he could like, be a potent striker. And it's like, I just think we get to a point where we used to do all this build-up play, right? In the last 2 years, I say used to, I mean like recently, like last season even, we'd play it around the back, we'd create space, and then the end product would be there. It's like right now the end product isn't there. It's almost like they don't. I don't want to say they don't want it, but it's just like it gets to a point where it's like, all right, turn around and do it again, and then it's like nobody's. I mean, Jesus is a phenomenal striker to me, but I think we miss David Silva's creativity. I know.
I want to see Foden or Bernardo Silva just slot into that role.
But Bernardo Silva's been so quiet, like so quiet in the last.
He tends to be better when he's out on the right side.
Yeah.
Where he fancies Mahrez a bit more, I think right now. But I mean, look, we can talk about company. It's like West Ham leaving Upton Park.
Yeah.
That conversation went on for how long?
Yeah.
About the London Stadium and how difficult it was for them to adjust and win there and get that atmosphere. But it's similar to how long are you going to say you miss Vincent Kompany? How long can you say you miss that? You've got to do it now. It's got to happen. Somebody's got to slot in.
Yeah.
And they're good. They had good enough players to do it. I just think the biggest issue for me was when City concede early. It's a little bit, obviously a little bit harder. They are the type of team that need to go a goal up and then open other teams when they need to come at you. Pep's interview afterwards, he said, they played 6 at the back. If that's the top of the table, if that's Tottenham challenging for playing like a relegation side, playing scared football, sitting back at home, I don't care who it is right now. Nobody's really firing. You can say Liverpool are the closest to who they should be, and City obviously aren't.
Right.
But nobody's really firing. Not as yet,
Yeah.
So why do you go out with fear? And he can say all he wants. It was a tactical win. Park the bus isn't tactics to me. Well, you have players of their quality. Tottenham's quality. He's bought players. He's brought big money players in.
Yeah.
Let them play. Didn't you bring them in to play, or did you bring them in to sit back and defend and instill into your players that you're scared?
Yeah.
I'm scared of this team.
I will say. I'm
scared of them.
Yeah.
But right now they're not firing.
I do agree with you. There's no team really firing. I will say, though, Mourinho has been way more defensive in the past, though. Like, this is probably... It's not the most defensive we've seen him.
Yeah, of everyone's bad defense.
But it's not the most park the bus we've seen him, because he does have... He did have Son and Kane, and, I mean...
outlets,
yeah, he did have outlets, and now he's found this new role for Kane where he can sort of slot back in, pull back as like a false 9, and I think Kane's talented, and I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we didn't deserve the win. We didn't deserve.
Well, for the first goal, I think the two centre backs both dropped in on Kane and left a hole behind them.
Well, Laporte did, Laporte did, which meant
Kane's movement coming off and dropping a little bit deep attracted both of them, and it shouldn't.
But is that where...
It's still a new partnership. Right?
Yeah, is that where Fernandinho would have picked him up? Is that where Fernandinho would have been a little deeper? I mean... Maybe
he'd have been sitting there and either Kane would have come onto him or wouldn't have made that run. But, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's a great ball and a great finish.
Yeah.
The runner's quality, the fact that it was 4 minutes in, whatever, that's what killed us a little bit. Because that sort of said to Tottenham, OK, we need to hold on to this. And I bet you Mourinho couldn't wait to get to half-time at 1-0 and say, right, stop it.
Right.
Let's sit back.
Well, any team against City.
The teams we struggle against, mate, are usually... Look what Wolves did to us last season. Yeah. They're normally counter-attack teams. Counter-attacking teams. Like what Leicester did. Although there was 3 penalties. Leicester went there with the same intentions. They went to Liverpool with the same intentions, and Liverpool ran over them.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why we shouldn't have run over them.
Well, yeah.
It's difficult at this point in time. No consistency with Aguero or Jesus yet, as far as getting a run of games and banging goals in, right? Yeah. Because that is the difference. You look last season, the difference. If people are saying, you only got 10 goals this season, Didn't we have 6 players last season, over 10 goals?
Mm-hmm.
But the goals were coming from other places as well.
Yeah.
But it seems now we're a bit more reliant on them because of the injuries, Jesus and Aguero for the second time. You know, we will still create, because when you don't have Aguero, Jesus is a different prospect for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same runs. It's not the same little. So
right
against different teams and different setups, they work differently, and the positives come out in different ways.
Yeah.
With what you get from each individual. But Aguero's going to come back, and you're still going to take 4 or 5 games for him to get in the swing of things.
Yeah.
If it's normally, I mean, he could come back and score a hat-trick in his first game, because that's the way they are.
Think about the amount of games, or the non-amount of games he played, like the small amount of games he played last season, and he was still like up there in his goals. So he does come in and bang them in. You know, he's the player. I love Gabriel Jesus. I love him as a player, and I think he does everything right. But I just think when the ball's there to be finished, he's just not. He's off by. I mean, it's hard because I don't want to criticize.
He's just not Aguero.
I think he's just not Aguero, where Aguero will find goals out of nowhere, and what we're providing Jesus is really nothing. But Aguero will find goals out of nothing.
Yeah, well, yeah, like you see, he's playing Aguero's role, not Jesus' role.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think we're going to find out how good a coach he is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you've seen. Look at Sheffield United. People see they adjust to you, and now they know your game.
Right, and
it's for him to find a different way. And I'd like to see a way how we can maybe get Jesus and Aguero in together.
Mm-hmm.
Now, by going with 3 centre backs and a 5 across the middle.
Yeah.
That might be.
So, Pep's always said the only way he would do that is if Mendy was fit. That's what he's always said, because he knows Mendy will get down the outside. But Cancelo does that job too. I know he's not left-footed, but he needs that. He needs that wing cover. He needs that coverage down the left wing, which means Sterling's role is gone if they go to a back 3. And for some reason, he has this love for Sterling, which, to me, last season Sterling, like, I thought, why wouldn't you play him every single game? This season, I don't really see a home for him on the left. You know, I don't really. I just don't really find a spot for him.
Only season he actually earned his spot.
Well, he looked like he was on. It looked like he was. I don't know. It looked like he was coming into this world class. As far as his numbers, I'm not saying his like play, right? But he would do things like he would score the amount of goals where you'd think.
Whenever City scores,
you can't not play him. Yeah, Sterling's gonna score. Not like I'm not talking about his like actual skill on the ball, but it's just not happening for him this season. So I would agree. Pep needs to take a risk. He's just got a new contract, right? So now's the time to do it. Just to experiment. You know, we've got nothing to lose right now. We're not getting relegated. You know, so it's like, figure it out and change it up, because right now it's not working. Now it's worked in the Champions League. You know, we've won 3 games 3-0. I mean,
but experimenting in the Champions League and winning the Premier League is different.
Oh yeah.
Experimenting.
But he wasn't experimenting in the Champions League. He just worked in the Champions League, and it's just
to a certain extent.
But he will.
They dominated the game for me still, and I know he was still happy with the performance, with the football. You know, we can still offer. I think this season there's too much resting on Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah,
I think he needs people alongside him that are going to step up. Right, it just hasn't happened yet. Look, if the way the league is right now, with nobody firing, they just need to get into their stride.
Mm-hmm.
You know. It's like the horse race where, you know, he's sitting 20 yards behind the leader, but he's got a double handful.
Yeah, and, it's someone's to take.
Time, when he lets it go, you know, there's no stopping it. So
yeah,
I'm not concerned. Look, it's because of the reputation. People are saying, "Oh, they're sitting in 13th." So friggin' what?
Yeah,
it's not like you're talking about Man United being down there, where it's more of a crisis.
Yeah,
you know, isn't it?
That is a crisis. Yeah. They've got deeper lying problems.
Started on them this weekend, another fucking penalty, and then retake it. I mean, the keeper was off his line. I'm not denying that, but
it only happens to Man United, doesn't it?
That was my head, yeah. Anyway, Leave them. Don't speak about.
No, them. I will say there was a few during the game. There was a couple things. There was a couple notes I took down. However we want to take them, but apparently Aguero hasn't scored in more than 300 days. Now I know he's had injuries and stuff like that. And
you know what you want to do? You want to make it days now, so the number's bigger.
Yeah.
Say minutes.
Yeah.
Say minutes. It sound really terrible. It sound low.
Well, yeah, that's including the shutdown and everything. Isn't it?
Yeah, everything. But obviously that's what they want to say.
That's why
it's to do with his injury. Yeah.
I'll tell you what might happen next week, talking to Chelsea and Spurs. It'll be interesting to see if Jose employs the same tactics against Chelsea. Does he fear them?
No, he won't.
Does he fear them as much?
No way.
Know. I think he might do.
No, he fears... No,
Can you imagine him now? Can you imagine him now? They're sitting on the top, him looking at it going, how can I keep it?
That's exactly what he's going to do, yeah.
How can I keep that? Because the longer I'm there, the better it's going to look for me. And look, we've talked about him. We like him. We love him. Glad he's back. Glad he went to Spurs. It's great having these rivalries, especially the London one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
But you know what I mean? So, and it being him also. You know, but
yeah, I don't want him back at Chelsea.
Look, when I watched that documentary on him, and he came out and he was telling the players, "I want you to play, I want you to play," and the players weren't playing; they were doing the defending and being safe.
Yeah.
You know, I thought then, well, maybe it isn't him, but I knew listening to him afterwards, that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
So we'll pick and choose when he wants to take the credit or take the blame, and the first thing he did was credit the players. They were amazing, fantastic. Tactically, it worked. Whatever we did, park the fucking bus. He doesn't want to say, but that's exactly what he did.
But that's classic Mourinho. Like Pep should have. Like why?
But
Pep should have known.
How else do you beat Pep?
Well, yeah, but it's up to Pep as a good coach to figure out how to get past this, because this is how Leicester beat us as well. Not just this season, but when they beat us 4-2 as well. Not last season, but the season before. It was like they'd figured out if you sit back tight enough, you get the break with a speedy striker. So to me, I would think, why not just have one of the centre backs sit a little deeper or something? I mean, I don't know. I'm not in charge of this stuff.
They're getting used to each other. Don't get me wrong. They'll forge that partnership.
Oh yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
that will come.
Yeah,
that will come. Things like that don't. You get lucky if it happens overnight.
Yeah, I'm not. I think
usually in a team like City, you have that much possession that they don't have to be that great.
Well, they are. That is to me. I mean, a new left back, but to like Walker, Ruben Diaz. For now, Cancelo fine at left back. I think he's the guy we have. Like, I do. He's just not. He's not left-footed. It just throws it off a little bit.
Would you not have Ake?
I'm not.
I love him, but I think he's not being used the best. He needs to be on the right side. I think Cancelo could be used as a winger. I think he's got the ball, the skill on the ball to be used. I just don't. I like how he gets far enough and then he has to cut in. It's like his left foot isn't. It's not his fault, but
I've seen more than that from him, mate.
He's not a long-term left back. He's not a long-term left back.
I'm liking him a lot right now, mate. Left back.
To me, he's not a long-term left back. I'd have him fighting for Walker's position. I think Walker's been brilliant. I think he's part of the reason Walker's been brilliant, because he's given him competition, and Walker's said, "I'm not letting this person take my spot," But I mean, Diaz, Laporte, like that is the back. That's the back centre back. That's the centre back partnership. I mean, how many teams succeed though with a right-footed left back? It just doesn't. The way Pep plays as well, it's like there's a circular motion about it, and if his left foot isn't up to where it should be, to me it doesn't.
It's not like we get down a side and get crosses in, no, mate, is it?
No, but it's an option. It's an option when we've got Mendy in there, and when Mendy's in there, that's all he does. He puts in crosses. I actually.
That's the good thing when he's fit, though. Just having that competition everywhere.
Yeah, but think about how many balls Mendy's put in for goals last season, and when he's been fit, it's a lot. I could count them up, but like it's like we're coming to dead ends again. We're coming to dead ends on the wings.
You don't think Ake could play there?
I just don't think he's got the pace, I guess, to play that role. I think he's a centre back, isn't he? If you play Ake there, you got to play 3 at the back. It's got to be more of a defined back 3. I think I like Ake. He's great on the ball. To me, it's just the problem.
I'm pretty sure he played left back for Chelsea for a little bit.
He probably did a few times, yeah. And he's played left back for us. He has, and he played left back for Bournemouth 1 or 2 times. Like, he's played left back.
Yeah.
He's just not. He's more physical than he is pacey. You know what I mean? So whereas you have Kyle Walker's like, and João Cancelo, they like to bomb on. That's how Zinchenko, Mendy. That's how he likes his fullbacks. I just don't think in Pep's eyes, Ake's not a fullback. I know he plugs the gap when we need him a couple times, but he's just not a fullback. To me, I think the City formation, we're hitting dead ends. When we started playing inverted wingers, we had a spell where we were decent, but then it fell off. That's why Mahrez wasn't fitting in the squad, because we weren't a team to play inverted wingers. We had Sterling on the right, we had Sané on the left, or we had Bernardo Silva or Foden on the left, or I've seen Mahrez play on the left a couple times. It's just, it doesn't, to me, it's like, now we flipped them, and like, I don't understand why Sterling's still playing on the left. It's, when you play inverted wingers, you get to a point down the wings where you can't go any further if the winger's not got an opposite foot.
I just think, look, the Leicester result was a freak, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And Tottenham, look, the thing for City is getting in behind, slipping balls in, getting in behind and getting balls across the box. A lot of the goals are tap-ins, aren't they? A lot of the goals are from balls fizzed in front of the keeper and people coming onto it. And when teams play against City and drop so deep and have 6 at the back, it's hard to get behind, which is why it's so vital for them to score first, no matter what, to bring teams out later in the game. And that's when they go and run away with games. I think, okay, to an extent, he did get it right because he got the result, Mourinho. So he did get something right. But you can't go your season playing like that to win a league, It's just, and I'm not concerned about City's performance even. I wasn't even disappointed. Obviously, I'm always disappointed with the loss, but I don't see it as, there's Liverpool 6-7 points ahead. We're never going to catch them. Because, look, nobody thought Villa would stuff them 7-2, and that happened. So it's going to be that type of season, As we've already seen, there's been a lot of injury. Liverpool didn't play like they had a lot of injuries,
Let's save the Liverpool game because I've got quite a bit to say about that. I know we don't want to talk about them much, but just to stick to this real quick, I think Mourinho's always played like this, and it's worked for him some seasons, and then it hasn't worked for him some, right? But he's sticking to how he plays. The same with Pep. His attacking mentality, which is the total opposite of Mourinho, has worked tremendously for him some seasons. Didn't work for him his first season in charge. I mean, it worked well enough, but not enough to win the league. Mourinho is not going to change his tactics. I think Mourinho could win the league with Spurs playing this way. If teams aren't going to break them down, I mean, look, this game against Chelsea this weekend, it's not a clash of the top, but it will be telling because Chelsea will go out and attack. Not in the same manner City will attack, but they'll go and attack, right? And if it works the same way, who else could Mourinho...
The difference being, mate, is if Chelsea get the first goal, Tottenham will have to come out.
Well, yeah, and then that's a different story. But I mean, it's that. I guess it all really depends on the first goal in that sense. But like, Mourinho's when Mourinho was at Chelsea, defensive. He basically played a back 6, and then
the bus.
Yeah, like he played a 4-2-3-1 theoretically, but it was basically like the 4 and the 2. That was the defense, and that was it. And then it was disconnected from the 4 in front, the 3 and the 1 in front. Like it didn't matter. Like he as long as he had a solid wall in the back, like and he did well,
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know. Look, whatever it takes to win games, I understand that. But you know what? This is where, if that's the way it is, we've just had the news that they're going to let a certain amount of fans back on the 2nd of December, from the 2nd of December. If that was a full stadium, he'd never get away with it. Never get away with it.
Yeah. I don't think he'd give a shit.
A lot of things would be different. I understand that, but I don't believe he'd get away with it playing like that for the season, expecting to win the league playing like that.
I think if they're sitting in first, I think the fans will. What are they going to say?
Well,
you know, what can they? What can they say, really?
Well, watching the games, they can boo him for.
Yeah, but they're not gonna. If he's sitting in first, they're not gonna boo him.
Yeah,
it's just not gonna happen.
Anyway, let's talk about the top 8. The big top 8. The Happy Hammers.
Yeah.
A great result as well. I know, okay, Sheffield United's sitting at the bottom of the table, but you've still got to go and sneak the win, haven't you? Not even sneak it. I think they fully deserve the win.
Yeah, I think so too.
Sheffield United had, but you know, I would have liked to see Haller a little bit happier.
Yeah, but
rifled one in the top corner.
Yeah, I mean, all his anger about not scoring was in that shot, wasn't it? It was just like.
Well, yeah, but I don't think all his anger of not scoring, all of his anger of not starting.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but he's been starting the last few games since Antonio's been injured.
Antonio's out injured, isn't he?
But he hasn't deserved to start, you know. So score the goals.
No.
Score the goals.
You know, what I've said before, you know, what game was it? He scored the 4. Come on and scored the 4. Wolves, I think it was.
Yeah.
Scored the goal and turned around as if like,
yeah. Maybe that's just how he celebrates.
I think his attitude. We've had a couple of players come through with that attitude.
Arnautovic.
Bigger than the club. And that's done my head in. Like, I mean, Payet did it, but he was still loved. And Arnautovic was loved and then did it. And, you know, Philippe Anderson in a different way, because I don't think he's got a nastiness about him.
Right.
And nardiness to do it. But just didn't put the work rate in.
Big fish, little pond syndrome, you know?
Yeah.
Which isn't right. But
just now to see the results coming in after watching them fans go through the shit last season, and you know, since the comeback from lockdown, they've been great. I know, you know, not always great football, but what they've done. If you look at that calendar year, what they've done in that calendar year, and then the start of the season, thinking about the fixtures that they had coming up, and they've done great. And it will only breed confidence. They're only 6 points off top. Yeah. So we're talking about, you know, fake league or whatever. Who's to say if Villa can be up there, and they played Villa, I think, at the weekend. So
if Villa can be up there, who should have been relegated?
In the last game against Villa, what was that, son?
I said if Villa can be up there, who should have been relegated last season? Well, anyone can be up there.
They look like a different bunch of players.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Playing, you know?
Yeah, no, but anyone could have had that spark. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And after the praise for our mate Grealish from the international break, he goes in the first 3 minutes. I think he's on the floor 3 times.
Yeah,
and they're talking about fouls from last season again. So let's not go there. Let's leave him where it was.
Yeah, leave him in the England squad. Forget him in the Villa squad. I think Haller scored, didn't he, for the Ivory Coast? He was just called up. He switched.
I think maybe.
He switched nationalities. He was he did declare French nationality, and he switched. He switched to Ivory Coast. So, and then he scored on his debut. So I'm sure that gave him confidence. But yeah, that strike, it was just nasty, wasn't it? It was just like.
I mean, you know,
in a good way.
It looked like before it broke to him that he'd stopped and was out of the thing completely. Mm-hmm. Like he just stopped and started to walk, and then it breaks to him, and he's just first time.
Who do you think that frustration's at? Moyes or himself, or?
Yeah, of course. No, you know what? With footballers, mate, they all think they're better than they really are, and instead of taking your chances, it's difficult. Look, he's gone from scoring goals in Germany from before, getting this big money move. Now all of a sudden that price tag's on you. It's like, oh, this is my standard. This is where I am. But go and bang the goals in if you're centre forward.
Yeah.
I remember when he signed, and I tweeted it out there, and it was a tweet to him actually on his site. Look, go out and give maximum effort. You know, show them supporters that you're going to play for that shirt, and they will love you. Mm-hmm. You know? And then I see that attitude a little bit. But the goals for him, the confidence for him, it would be better for me if they could find a way of fitting him in when Antonio comes back.
Yeah,
I think they would be potent. If you have a confident Haller who's banged a couple of goals in, and then you have Antonio in that slot where Fornals is right now.
Yeah,
they would have a decent, because the back three are doing very well.
And Masuaku looks great. Every time I see Masuaku on the ball, I think.
Well, on the other side,
he does. But Masuaku has some skill on him. Like, he just looks, I don't know, he's got like almost like when Balassi looked like he was like, when
he's on fire, he's really on fire.
Yeah, when he was at Everton,
a brain fart or a lapse,
Yeah, or Palace it was. Balassi had his breakout season, didn't he?
I think Moyes is finding a way to get the best out of what he has.
Yeah. But there's going to come a time, and we keep talking about this, there's going to come a time where, okay, like the back five is fine, but there needs to be some, I mean, maybe not, but like I'm just saying, like he's found his foundation of defense, which is great. And, they pulled a 1-0 against Sheffield United, but is it not going to be like and I can't really talk because of how City look, but is there not going to be like, okay, where do we go from here? You can't play the same squad. I know Antonio's injured. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fornals stands out for me.
I think that they've got a little bit more depth, more strength in depth now.
Yeah.
And look, when people are out there, the 11 that he's picked are winning games and scoring goals, you've got no complaints being on the bench.
Yeah.
You can't be that sulk, You've got no complaints. You've got to hold your hand up and say, I want to be in there, I want to be part of it. So even if I get 20 minutes, I'm going to go on, I'm going to show you that I belong. I've got to do something to make me stay in for the next game or to make me start.
Yeah.
And I think they've had too many fly-by-nights over the last couple of seasons. Look, if you get a fully firing Lanzini and Antonio back and the confidence from these wins that they've got, and sitting 8th in the table, this early on, and only 6 points off the top. Like, at any other stage, you could have been sitting 8th and 15 points behind,
Yeah.
With the way Liverpool and City have dominated over the last few years. So, they've got to, they've been to Liverpool. The teams at the top, they went to Spurs.
Yeah.
And ended up getting a draw. Doing well at Anfield again. So the teams up there now, your Chelsea's, they're not going to fear that. I don't know why they can't. I'm not saying go win the league, but if we're looking at Leicester again, who, hit and miss still.
Yeah.
On a day you can beat anyone, and then West Ham go there and trounce them. So they're sitting amongst it, and even looking down at City, it must be a weird feeling for them,
Yeah.
Well, City do have that game in hand where if they win, they go above them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure West Ham aren't even thinking about that. I'm sure they're just looking at the next game, Yeah,
they won't be thinking of City.
Well, that's the thing. There's so many, like you said, the likes of Tottenham, they're not going to win against the big teams. Well, I mean, other than what just happened, but they're not going to actually play well if they have a bad run of games or anything like that. And there could be teams like Villa that squeak by and get the points, like West Ham do. But I feel like if West Ham just play and don't, because they already went through the hardest run of games than anyone else. If they just put their head down and go forward and don't look at look at the table for the rest of the season, they could make Europa League and comfortably.
Don't look at who you're playing.
Exactly, Yeah, because they just did the worst.
Do what you do.
Well, look, they just playing against Sheffield United, who, in my opinion, is still a good side. Like, I know they're off to a rough start, but
only as good as your last game, kind of.
Look, seasons before, West Ham would have lost that game.
Yeah.
Easy, out of the run that they've been on and the teams that they played.
I mean, Sheffield United also
still could have thrown that away. And I'm not just talking about the modern players. We used to do it also, So I'm talking about a history of doing it. Not just, the way it is now, but they found something else. And it makes me smile. And like I said, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to put anybody down, but I think still they'll need somebody better alongside Declan Rice.
Mm.
More of a playmaker, I think.
Right.
Somebody who's going to get involved in the game a little bit more than Souček actually does. I know he's got his strengths. I don't know if...
No, it's definitely a new sign, and it has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. It's no one in the team.
You've got to have somebody who's gonna dominate possession with Declan.
Right.
You're gonna have games where you need that. You can't just rely on putting it in behind for Antonio and using his pace. You know, I think they're gonna realize nothing to fear, and then that they can go out and dominate possession as well.
Yeah.
And it have to be, counter-attack football all the time.
Well, this is kind of where I'm coming from with that progression from where they are now. They've got the foundation. Like, there just needs to be. To me, there needs to be it's not going to work every season. Like, they're on a great run. Why would you change it? But yeah, someone next to Declan Rice, I think more of like a, this is why I always resort back to Lanzini. And I know
I was thinking if you're solid enough at the back where he doesn't have to come.
Right. Well, that's always been my point about West Ham, and I said this last season as well. It's like. You need like that. I think they have room for a creative number 10 who like sort of who doesn't need to be restrained to the defensive roles that everyone on the pitch is.
That's when they've been at the best, when they've had players.
I think what you find though, son, is when you've been in a relegation fight, it's about the first thing in Moyes' mind.
Staying up, yeah.
Take out all the creativity.
It's solidified.
Creative players,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The first thing we've got to be is harder to beat.
Yeah.
Right.
Which they've been doing.
And with that confidence, then it's a case of, look, when you say about the Tottenham fans, and will they accept that or the sin at the top? Maybe not. The West Ham fans, would they? I think they would right now because of the struggles that they've had, I think they would say, okay, it's not the prettiest, but we're winning games. I'll take that. And I would right now, but that's just the base for me. It's something for them to build on.
Yeah.
And then add to.
That's my that's exactly my point, and maybe I'm calling for it a little too early, which is fine. If it's working with the foundation you have, and it, I don't want to say playing it safe because that sounds like I'm being a bit derogatory, because David Moyes still feels the scars of that relegation fight last season, right? And it was a tough.
Carried away with sitting in 8th.
Right, it was a tough one, yeah. But to remain in 8th, to me, West Ham are going to have to. Not just West Ham, but he's going to have to inject a bit of creativity, not just defensive, solidity, which he's built, which he has built. But to me, it's like someone like I keep bringing up it's someone like Lanzini. The other day I was watching, and I forget who the commentator was, but he said. Souček was an attacking midfielder, and that confuses me because he's not really. I know he attacks and he's a midfielder.
That's where the strength is. His strength is in the box, probably.
Right, but
because
you know what?
Not really a midfield player.
Yeah.
Well, that's what West Ham.
He's good to have.
He is.
Don't get me wrong.
He's good to have. He's good to have for now.
Of course,
like, not for the future. You need to find his replacement as soon as possible.
I sound like an idiot saying he's not an attacking midfielder because he attacks and he scores goals and he plays in midfield.
That's where his strength is, because if he's not scoring goals, he doesn't get involved in the game a lot.
I feel like not all West Ham need to do, but the best thing they should do is in the January transfer window, have Lanzini like prep him, because Declan Rice is going to be the leader out there. I feel like you're going to need experience. Go get an old player. I'm obviously thinking Ibrahimovic, but that's, I think, way too much. But go get look how well Fulham did with Berbatov, where it was someone that even if they were losing a game 4-1 but his one goal, every time he touched the ball, no matter what, he was gonna be the outlet. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to look at because they can't get a striker like that, because when Antonio's back,
thought Andy Carroll would be that, but then
but when Antonio's back, Antonio's
he doesn't have it for me. You need
Antonio?
You need someone other than Declan Rice.
Right. I'm not talking about leadership. I'm just talking about let's talk. Okay, but let's talk about. I'm just saying it won't be a striker because Antonio's there. That's what I'm saying. I agree with what you're saying.
I'm saying you need to take Souček out.
Right, which is I'm going in that direction. I'm just saying you're talking about Berbatov and Carroll and Ibrahimovic. The striker
you definitely need a better forward than Antonio.
Antonio is
top with him.
Antonio's for his position from back.
No, that's fine, but he's not. You can't have him up top by himself. He's not good enough.
I think what you're saying is they need a forward so he can be in his strongest position, which is coming in from the left side.
Yeah,
sure. He can't. Well, he just can't play up top by himself. Fine, he's done it in some games, but he can't do it all season. It's ridiculous. It's a huge ask.
Yeah, but it works.
He doesn't have it. It works for a few games. He's going to be burnt out.
Well, he's injured. I wonder if
when he came back from the whole lockdown, he worked his balls off and looked the best he's ever looked.
Yeah,
looked 10 times better than what he did.
Yeah.
Before that, that was his. He only scored 1 goal before the lockdown. Something like that.
I'll tell you what. Let me throw this at you.
That could be completely.
I'm in the squad for the Euros.
Oh yeah.
But it's not going to happen. But
it should be. It should be open season for England, and it's not. It's like these people have locked positions, and because of their name, because of the semi-final. See, we should have never made it to the semi-final because these people now have.
No, but to be fair, there's not.
There is Maguire. What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean,
Pickford, kind of, but I think there's still better keepers.
To be fair to Southgate for once, at least he's playing younger players.
But it's like he's doing what Lampard's done. It's like it worked, but then it worked for the time being. Yeah. Now there's a reason you only play younger players because you don't have the experience.
Let's give him the chance and see what he does.
That's what we. Oh, Antonio. Oh yeah, 100%. We should be saying that about.
I don't. Why not? If is he the most informed forward from when the lockdown finished to now?
Calvert-Lewin's it's got to be close. You know.
Right. I'll be honest. I think he's a better player than Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, but Calvert-Lewin's come out of nowhere, so it's I don't think we've had time to really.
Look! Don't get me wrong.
No, I don't think he's a better player. I don't think Antonio. I don't know. I don't think he has it.
Calvert-Lewin anyway.
I think he works.
The way they played suits him.
Yeah,
I think
but
Antonio
that's the England problem. That's not going to change until Southgate's gone.
Harry Kane neither, tell you the truth.
Yeah.
No, I hate to say. I think we always have to have Harry Kane. He had some. I think he has something. No, the way I looked at it, I wouldn't want to be playing against him. You know?
Oh no! Look, I'm not knocking Harry Kane for that. I'm saying the England system doesn't get the best out of the centre forward.
The England system doesn't get the best out of most players.
You can't have a system and not put Harry Kane in right now because of the lack of forwards that we have that are good finishers.
There's a reason we don't look exciting going forward. We don't look creative going forward. We score mainly set pieces. There's a reason for that.
It's been the last 60 years.
Fucking hell.
Are you going to say that we're not the best at penalties
we keep talking about England. Let's.
I got England. The international week's gone. Yeah.
But I do think Antonio's a good shout for that, and I would call him up.
Yeah,
well, he's obviously injured, but
if you're playing everybody else, you just give a 17-year-old a debut.
Yeah, you'd put Antonio in instead of Abraham. I know you would.
Yeah, I wouldn't take. First of all, I wouldn't take Dyer. I wouldn't take Abraham, and I wouldn't take Winks at all. So you've got three slots there. You know?
I agree.
Well, Winks wasn't even in the squad, was he, for the City game?
No, he hasn't played for.
You can't play for your club, but you play for your.
I don't know the last time he's played for Tottenham
because he was playing for England.
I'm just surprised Dele Alli wasn't called up. You know, it's
exactly. Yeah. What's happened there? Freaking hell! Oh, Giroud's a similar thing, mate, isn't it? To talk about him leaving again. And
Giroud said if he doesn't get enough game time before January, he's gone.
Yeah, because he wants to play Euros, and it might threaten him. I know he scored 2 goals.
Yeah, I'm like this with.
If I was West Ham, I'd go and nick him.
There you go.
Yeah,
that is the perfect.
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking of, not Ibrahimovic.
Solved.
I would have gone and took Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, 100%.
I would,
as well as Giroud, but
I think that's the type. Giroud would be perfect for him.
Is Welbeck still at Watford?
Yeah, he just scored against.
Oh, he scored.
Yeah, he just scored against.
It looked lively.
Yeah.
But we still got to remember he played for Man United once, so.
That's true.
Then Arsenal, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, starting off for Man United is not the same as playing for Man United. Oh, wait,
Yeah,
he
not
didn't
anymore.
start off for Man United, did he?
He did play a lot for Man United, mate. He did. Played a lot for Man United.
Yeah.
I know. No, but that's where he made his name.
All right, he decided to leave.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What about the let's move on. What do we think about the Leeds Arsenal game? I thought Leeds looked great. I thought Jack Harrison, who by the way is a City product, looked great. Just to bring that in there. We could have one positive thing about Man City, can't we?
Do you want me to be honest? I didn't see the game. I watched the highlights and it looked like Leeds should have won it.
Yeah.
I've got one question. I should have researched it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Was Granit Xhaka in the squad?
Yeah.
Did he play?
He came on, yeah.
Did he? Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how did they look?
In fact, he started.
There you go.
So Danny Ceballos looked weird because he shaved his head.
Where was El Neni and Partey?
Not in the 18, I don't believe. But
El Neni's got. He was with Salah with the Egyptian squad.
Partey. Partey has a thigh injury. Also, there's just some weird things surrounding Willian as well. Apparently, Willian flew to Dubai and broke like protocol or whatever. And apparently, there's some weird shit going on where Ceballos has been arguing with his teammates. Like, it doesn't sound like Arteta has a hold on on the club.
Ceballos
really,
came
on the squad.
on loan from Madrid.
David Luiz give him a clump or something. Ceballos.
No.
Not what I heard. David Luiz give.
Is that true?
I don't know. We don't say the truth, do we?
No, we're just against spreading rumors.
No, he came and
David Luiz
now that I'm
wasn't.
about to say this, I feel like I don't know if this is 100% true, but I'm pretty sure he came from Madrid and he was on loan and he's like, I'm still a Madrid player.
He did say that.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But then after a season at Arsenal, he said he's
Another one
not.
who's not
Still-
as good as he thinks.
go fuck yourself. Like, I imagine.
Yeah,
I
he
don't know how the Arsenal fans let him.
He
play.
honestly looked like he was wearing a bike helmet for a long time, so I'm just glad he shaved his head. But
Oh, did you see Theo Walcott's tights today?
no,
Got these white pants on.
tighty whities.
I don't know what they were, mate. Like leggings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like De La
so-
Feu when he needed to take them off.
I used to.
Saka looked really good, by the way, for the 20 odd minutes he played for Arsenal.
Yeah. One-on-one towards the end.
Yeah, he looked like a spark. But yeah. Other than that, there's some weird shit going on at Arsenal right now. Kieran Tierney almost got sent off. Obviously Pepe got sent off for the headbutt that he did against the
I did see that.
What's his name? Which one was it? Alioski. And then Tierney went up to him at the end, and there's some weird stuff going on, which is a shame because I think Arteta's he could be, he just needs to get his shit.
Love Arteta, mate, as a player and perhaps assistant. Well, being the Arsenal connection, I want more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm disappointed.
Or less Xhaka.
Well, less Xhaka here, more
Non-Xhaka.
everyone else.
Yeah. All right, so before we get to the Liverpool Leicester game and everything else, I do just want to thank our sponsors, sportsvids.com. If you're looking for a gift for one of your close friends, we've got the perfect gift for you. If you know someone that loves football, boxing, Olympics, darts, or cricket, then get them a personalized video shout-out from sportsvids.com. Choose from football legends like Ian Bishop, Tony Cottee, Shaun Goater, and other stars. Give them some info about your friend, workmate, or family member, and they'll do the rest. It's a knockout idea for a Christmas present. We've got Christmas coming up, and it's always hard to find something someone will like. So you could get them a video from one of these sports stars, and I'm sure they'd be over the moon. You can also order a pep talk or a team talk for a football team or a sports team. Sports Vids, personalized video shout-outs from sporting heroes. Get your video now at sportsvids.com. Thank you, SportsVids, for sponsoring the podcast.
Happy days. You know what you're getting for Christmas?
You could just cut a clip from this of you talking to us. What would you say if we ordered a sports vids from you for Christmas? What for us?
Well, you know me. I've got me actor's card. So you've seen a couple of my videos where I just.
What was that show?
Yeah, what was the show you acted in again?
It's called Teenage Health Freak. Danny Peacock. Do you remember Danny Peacock? He was actually in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Don't pull the video up. I know you can find it.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. No, I'm just kidding.
Some of the best acting you've ever seen. I played myself. It wasn't easy.
Yeah. So
I had to get injured on the training ground because this young lad was going to come in and be thrust in from the streets to play for West Ham.
Yeah.
That was the storyline.
You mean you paid them to write in for how you're actually getting replaced for your position instead of you just getting subbed off? You had to get injured.
So if someone
it's not easy to get injured when you're not really getting injured.
Well, they all do it. They all do it today.
I'll do it. Yeah. I couldn't do it. To be fair, me injury. I think as I was going to do the fake dive, I think I stood on my own laces, and it looked better than it was going to look.
Yeah.
But then I remember when I was getting wheeled into the hospital, and Danny Peacock, who's the dad in the story, him and the family were already in the hospital for something else, and then he sort of look at me and then have to take a second look. And I don't even think I was supposed to speak.
Did you have lines though?
I came out. No,
okay.
I don't even think I was.
But did you speak? Did you speak?
I did, yeah.
Okay. So let me stop you right there. So I want a sports vids video of you repeat. Say I'm a, what is it called? Healthcare line. What's the show?
Teenage Health Freak.
Teenage Health Freak.
Yeah.
Say I'm a big fan and I want a sports vids video of you repeating the lines. How would you do the video?
Okay, this is how I went. I wheeled by, and I went, and then he looked at me, and I went, "Oh, it's killing me. I think it's me ligaments." And then I looked at the camera as the camera was like that. It was like blatantly obvious. I was staring at the camera.
It was better than the one that they did of you when you
the best bit was
rode up on your motorbike.
Oh right, yeah, that was it. Army and Bishop, remember me?
So if anyone listening,
that's what I want.
Wants an embarrassing clip of Ian saying, me fucking ligament," whatever you said.
No, he's like, I think it's me ligament.
I didn't swear.
I know, I'm just kidding. I know, I was adding a bit of scouse to it.
Alvin Martin was supposed to have some lines. They've gone, "Alvin, you've got lines." I didn't have lines, but I made them up myself. But Alvin was supposed to have lines, and after about 18 takes, he just cut them out. It was gambles. He couldn't get it. It was just one line or something standing in the dressing room, and he couldn't get it. Disgrace. Thick footballers, you know.
Yeah.
I think we're good at everything. Work like that. I didn't get any other offers after it anyway, so that tells you a lot.
Yeah.
From any other clubs?
I didn't get that neither, mate. But that was partly because I'm sure it was more than partly because one Player of the Year awards at the Dorchester or wherever, the lads had decided that every one of my pints during the day was going to have a vodka in it. So it was, everybody knew except me. So when we started in the Bald Hind at 11 o'clock in the morning, the do wasn't until like 8 in the evening, but we're all in the Bald Hind with our tuxedos, dicky bows on and that. And they must have all discussed, every time we buy a round, every time Bish has a pint, put a vodka in it. So
you didn't taste it?
You don't taste vodka, mate.
I could taste it. If there was a vodka in my beer, I could.
No, you wouldn't know, mate, honestly.
Grab that vodka right there.
You wouldn't taste it, mate. It'll get you off the cake, though. Anyway, I don't know how many I'd had, but at the end of the night, they've planted me on the couch by the door where everyone leaves. All the FA people, all the managers.
Yeah.
All the managers. they've left about 30 pint glasses around my feet and cigarettes all over, all over me. So all the managers must have walked by and looked at me. I'm sure that might have something to do with it.
Why, you didn't get a second acting gig?
Probably, mate, yeah.
So Connor's just poured vodka into my beer.
Go on.
We're going to test it out.
Yeah, I see it, mate. You're on camera.
This is what happens when he chugs a beer.
Is that when I chug a beer at the beginning of the episode?
Hopefully we're coming to the end of the show.
You're not.
No, we've still got 2 hours left. Have you got your lines?
No cocaine on the show, okay?
Maybe you mix
All right,
it.
yeah, you're right. You probably don't. Yeah, you don't really taste it.
You don't taste it, mate.
It just makes the beer flat.
You smell it.
You smell it, yeah, but I've just ruined my last pint of the night.
You don't have a smell of vodka, unless that's flavoured.
No, it's not flavored.
You don't taste it, you just...
No, what the fuck?
You don't taste it, do you?
No.
Okay.
Knocking on your head in the morning.
Okay, so you're...
No. I taste it on my tongue right now, though. I like the back.
Yeah, but
I'm looking.
But
for
if you
it
didn't
right
know,
now.
if you didn't know, yeah, okay. So we forgive you then, and now
I'm gonna do this at the beginning of every
the thing
episode.
is, I was the one playing the joke on them because I knew they would do it.
yeah.
I just wanted to get drunk faster.
All right.
I was actually putting them in them when I was getting it as well.
Yeah. So you were so you were doubling up.
Yeah, and it was my round.
Turns out,
Yeah,
just a
okay.
schizophrenic and an alcohol.
Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to. I wanted to prove live on camera that. Yeah, you're right.
Don't worry, they'll find out about 10.
Yeah, just give me a call in the morning, okay?
Can't leave some empty pint glasses around his feet.
I will. Yeah.
All right.
No, I ended up banning myself from the PFA Awards. I did because I got worse and worse each year. I was a disgrace in the end, mate. I had to stop myself from going.
Yeah.
And the only time I won an award, I couldn't make it. I did one year when Pele was doing his speech.
Yeah.
I stood up and went, "What have you ever done?" And I think it was Sheffield Wednesday table started throwing bread rolls at me. Oh well, good old days.
Yeah.
Don't get invited back anyway.
Not surprised.
Hey, what about Bournemouth, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, 4-2. Did that take them to the top?
Oh
Yeah.
no, Norwich went top.
Yeah, Norwich went top.
You got Norwich, Bournemouth, and Watford hanging about in the top 5.
Yeah.
I was sort of thinking, and I couldn't grasp it. What if the top 3, the 3 who went down, but the 3 who came up again?
I wonder if that's.
And vice versa. But Leeds aren't going to. West Brom and Fulham struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wonder if it has it ever happened before where the 3 that went down came back up again.
That's what I was thinking, mate. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Remember?
Yeah,
I'd have to
think
look
it's
into
happened
that.
multiple times.
I doubt multiple.
I very much. Yeah, it's definitely happened.
Look into it, and then next show we'll figure it out. Yeah, no, great win for Bournemouth though, 4-2. I mean, coming back from 2-0 down, that's it's hard. I like watching the Championship, but sometimes it's just there's so many.
They could go top again. I think they're at home tomorrow to.
I like watching it like towards the end.
Yeah, Notts Forest tomorrow at 3.
Notts Forest tomorrow, yeah.
3 hour time.
Is check, Jordy? I think me mate Chrissy Houghton, little West Ham teammate Chrissy Houghton. I think he's manager of Forest now.
Why? I never understood why he left Brighton.
He got sacked, didn't he?
No, he didn't. He left on mutual terms. He kept them up, and then he left on mutual terms.
I think what happened, mate.
It wasn't the same thing as Bournemouth. They were sacking him.
I think while he was struggling, all the talk of him getting fired and all this and relegation, it just gets to you, you know.
Yeah, he is the manager of Notts Forest.
If he's gone, I proved you wrong. I'm gone anyway.
Yeah.
But lovely man. Honest to God, one of the nicest people you'll wish to meet. Love to see him do well with Forest.
He came in.
Not tomorrow. But.
He came in with Norwich, didn't he?
With who?
With Norwich, like 6 years ago.
No, he was with Newcastle. No, he was at Newcastle. Don't think he was at Norwich.
Wasn't that Norwich?
Don't think so.
Sorry.
No, he wasn't as a player. You're talking about as a manager?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't as a manager. Sure, he wasn't a Norwich manager. Might have been a... Don't know.
You might be right. Is that...
Brighton.
No, I think it might have been Norwich Brighton.
I'm pretty sure.
Click his Wikipedia.
I can't find it.
Just type Chris Hughton.
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
I do want to talk about the Liverpool-Leicester game. I know we don't...
Come on. Oh, you've been waiting.
I had 3-1 Leicester. And then... I know you had 3-1 Liverpool. And then I realized that there's just something... The reason I had it was because, first of all, Jamie Vardy was fit. He was absent in the game. But for some reason, Leicester came out against us at the Etihad like they didn't give a shit who we were. And they played Liverpool. I know it was at Anfield, which is fine. But it was like they feared them, right? Like they feared...
They still bedded in. They Jose Mourinho did at the Etihad.
No, I know, but they had outlets, and it's like they were more to me they were more fearful of Liverpool at Anfield than they were of us at the Etihad.
Well,
maybe
it's Rodgers' connection. Maybe there's something in that, the Liverpool thing.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up because Rodgers had his time there, didn't he? But to me, like Leicester looked like, I mean, honestly, they just looked like shit, and Liverpool, they looked like they always did. It's like as if Van Dijk might as well have been there. Gomez, Trent, Alexander-Arnold.
What I made earlier, they did it at the Etihad and got away with it. You can't keep doing that and keep winning.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I was saying about Tottenham. You can't keep doing it and keep getting away with it.
All it takes for the Champions League to prove who they actually are, you know, all it takes is for a different team, and it could happen in the Premier League, just the odd team to just pull them apart.
But I just think I think Liverpool.
Right now.
I do think Liverpool deserve a bit of credit though. They played.
Yeah. I think it's Klopp.
They played like as if none of these players were injured. They played as if Salah was on the pitch, as if Van Dijk was on the pitch. It was like these, and I don't think it was the players.
If anything, mate, they won't miss Mo Salah. You know, you're talking Firmino, Mane, and Jota who's come in and
I said that it solves this problem of how do I play all four of them.
Yeah, but you think about the back line as well. Like Robertson's really the only starting centre back that. Well, Matip, I guess. Did Matip start?
Defender.
Yeah.
Matip started centre back. Okay, so Matip. Fabinho's not a centre back, but he looked as if. I mean, how has he filled in for?
When was the last time Matip started for him?
Matip's been in since.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It was Gomez, Van Dijk, and.
What was Gomez, Van Dijk?
Yeah, no, but who's the other one? There's still someone.
Lovren.
Was it? Yeah, maybe I'm going back too far.
Matip's been in the mix though, but I'm just saying, like. You know, I don't want to make this a City thing, but when we have players down, it's like, I'm just saying, I want to give Liverpool credit because it was like, to me, I would have put all my money against Liverpool this weekend.
You did?
Well, I didn't put any physical money. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's just, there's something that happened there with that Liverpool team where Fabinho took the role of Van Dijk and did it. And Milner took the role of Alexander-Arnold and did it really well. And I mean, you know, you can't hate on Milner. He's a professional and he's a great player. But
one of them players talking about all the type of player who will come and do the job.
He's like the pinnacle.
Yeah.
And you know, Fabinho. The thing with Fabinho, if you don't get tested because you dominate the game, City didn't dominate the game against Leicester.
My point exactly.
You don't get tested. You don't really get found out. It isn't your position. I think he actually could be a better centre-back than a midfield player because I don't rate him as a holding midfield player.
Yeah.
I don't rate him as a holding midfield. I'm not saying he's a great centre-back. I'm saying I think he might be a better centre-back than a holding midfield player. Cause I don't think he's in the middle of midfield. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
But like I said, if they don't get tested, Vardy seemed to be a little bit deeper. He's got to be on the shoulder. And Liverpool normally play a really high line.
Yeah.
And it really should have suited Leicester. But if you don't have possession, Liverpool use their possession better than City did against Leicester.
But that shouldn't be the case, though, should it? I don't think it's Leicester. I don't think it's a case of Leicester slowing down. or wearing out or trying the same thing over and over again where it worked against City and it didn't work against Liverpool. I think it's a case of Klopp adjusting tactics for the players he has, you know?
They also brought Madison back.
Sorry?
They also brought Madison back for the game, didn't they?
Who, Leicester, yeah.
He started. So maybe tweaking their formation a little bit.
The big picture I took was I think Leicester gave Liverpool way more respect than they gave us. And I do wonder what the reason is. I'm not saying like, oh, we deserve the respect at the Etihad that they deserve at Anfield or whatever, but
I also played you first.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
It still tells you why, does it?
What do you mean? It doesn't tell me why. No.
Well, it should do. They respected them more because they actually went and trounced them. They were right to respect them more because they ended up getting trounced.
No, they were right to. I'm just, yeah.
They respected Man City. That was the way to go at Man City because they ended up getting a win there.
I'm just saying, like, what did... I'm just sitting here trying to... What? No. What did Brendan Rodgers see? What fear or loophole or gap did he see at City? Huh?
3 penalties helped.
No, I know. Yeah, and I could sit here and make that excuse all I want as well. If there wasn't for the 3 penalties, it would have been 2-2. You know, I would love to make that excuse. I did make that excuse after the game. I did. You know I did. Yeah. But I'm just saying there was something Brendan Rodgers saw against City where he thought, I'm going to go for this, that he didn't see against Liverpool, that he didn't go for. To me, if I'm Brendan Rodgers and I see
not show weakness,
and I see Van Dijk and Gomez out, I think Vardy up front. I'm gonna push Harvey Barnes higher. I'm gonna get 2 forwards up there, not just the one, because they're weak at the back.
You think he gave them too much respect?
I think he gave them too much respect. Is the point I'm getting to.
Or maybe he didn't. Maybe he's seen their back line as weak, and went for it that way and left himself open.
If that's the case, Leicester isn't the team that they are.
Which, as of late, they definitely haven't been in.
They're off to a better start than they were during their title-winning season.
Look, here's what's just come to me right now. 3-0, 3 headers. One of them was a Leicester player.
Yeah, Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans did play like shit as well. Just saying.
So they've been beaten by aerial balls.
Yeah,
and that's not normally the case with Liverpool, is it?
No, but they were all over them though. I mean,
defensively, balls in the box, they struggled.
Like Firmino could have had one if he didn't. I mean, he was close, wasn't he, off the inside of the post?
Oh man!
And then off his back foot as well, and it was cleared off the line by like less than a centimetre.
There was a couple in the second half at the inside of the post, and in one sequence, I think they hit it twice.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Same inside. Yeah.
Liverpool didn't give a shit that their main centre backs, both of them, were injured.
That's how you have to play them.
Yeah, but why? You know, was that Klopp adapting to the players he had? Does Pep do that? Does he not?
No,
I'm just asking the question.
Game. It's one.
I know
game.
It's just one game. I'm not questioning Pep at all, right? I'm just trying to pose some questions here to start a conversation. But like, why does it work so well for Pep? Like, looking from the outside, I'm not jealous. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like why did it work out so well?
For
Klopp, yeah.
I think the system that Pep plays, sometimes leaves us vulnerable and open to through balls or counter attacks.
You can't account for Kyle Walker not being there mentally, you know. Like,
do you think the system like Klopp plays? Like, do you think the system Pep plays needs the right players more than the system Klopp plays?
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't see an issue, Joe. I don't see an issue.
I do, but not to a degree that it's an issue. I think like you said with Mendy and Pep, like I think Pep's the best manager, and so he's trying to form the best team. So that, like, he obviously has that vision, but obviously he's like trying to cover all the incidents and that. So I think that's where he benefits from the best players. But I don't think it's to a point where it's crucial enough to affect. But like you can't say Klopp outclass Pep in any way because Pep's just head, shoulders.
They'll find their stride, mate. It won't be too long. They'll find their stride, and when they do, mate, they'll take.
That's what I want to say earlier. Pep's never going to be replaced until there's someone that comes along that's better. Right. Because the people above him know that.
I just took it extra personal that Liverpool with their English players.
I know, but the fact you picking Leicester to win 3-1, there was a little bit of please let it happen in there.
He went 2-1.
Not using your brains.
Yeah, he went 2-1, like, then he's like, you know what? And then he just.
You know what though? I'm
gonna ride this.
I had City Spurs 2-2, so I wasn't like going all out City either. Like I thought that was gonna be a draw. I thought it was gonna be
something.
Yeah, at least I thought there was gonna be some difficulties, but it just
I was loyal. I had City 2-1.
Well, that doesn't. Yeah, but you had Liverpool 3.
And I'm still not disappointed with the performance afterwards.
There's something that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, well, look, get everybody gelling together, get the right blend. You know,
this is the perfect season for every single team to do that.
Look, I'm not. Yeah,
like Aston Villa just did that, and look at what they're doing.
I mean, we've got.
I wouldn't mind being third, fourth, and making a late run towards the end. of the season.
Every single team has 3 games they could just like sit there and go experiment and go whatever because no one's gonna.
Yeah, I mean,
beat everyone.
It's okay saying that though, but when you're sitting 13th, it's like
when you're sitting 13th in
I know with the game in hand. Yeah, with the game in hand, it's just like
look after Christmas in the New Year.
No, I know. I'm not being super pessimistic. And
then
yeah,
there'll be issues.
Yeah, I'm just saying I think it's obvious there needs to be changes tactically, right? I think that's the obvious thing.
Or just time.
I'm not.
There's no better man to see it.
Exactly.
To do it.
Yeah.
So worrying.
Well, it's hard to not fucking worry when you're sitting in 13th place. I mean, I know Chelsea and Arsenal are fucking used to it, but like
you're just worried about getting ribbed up.
I know. Yeah.
What's happened? But you know what I'm happy about? I'm going to go back to the Hammers. How many seasons have I said they've got a good enough squad to be top 6?
Probably yeah, we had an argument, didn't we?
The last 12 years.
Good enough squad to be top 6. And for me, it could happen. And that's partly because of the random results that's coming out for everybody. You know, they just need to...
You say what?
No, I was just saying the last 8 years. They got into the Premier League 2012, 13.
Just concentrate on what you've got in front of you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what else is going on. I think that's what they've got to do and just build on what
I think that's what Moyes will do as well. I mean, like I said,
it's just nice to interact with the West Ham fans when, you know, that animosity isn't there.
Yeah.
So, I know they'll still want better football. I know they will. But right now, I know they'll accept.
Yeah, but it's not like they have these out-and-out incredible players and then all not performing. It's like they're in there with the thick of it with every single... Everyone has injuries.
Yeah, even Fornals. You know what I think? I think we can make that position stronger as well, without it sounding like I don't think he's good enough or I don't think Souček's good enough. I think they're the 2 positions where we could make it stronger and push on. I really do.
Yeah, I agree.
And I know some West Ham fans will have them as their favourites and won't appreciate you saying it, but it's just
no, because it's like don't disrespect what they did, but it's like
I want the best for the club.
What do you want? Do you want
the club?
Yeah, do you want? But I mean, like you say to them, like, do you want to? They were the same people in that relegation battle. Do you want to have those people? Do you want to still be in the relegation battle, or do you want to?
Look, they did start most of the games. Souček got a couple of goals.
Exactly.
That kept them up. So, you know, Moyes must see something. And obviously he sees them every day, so he knows a bit more about them than I do. But,
just
you know.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Just nice, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go the Hammers.
Go Chelsea. Great season so far. Even though it's just all shit.
Enjoy while it lasts, mate.
You know what it is? Someone grabbed the shit, threw it up in the fan. We just stuck higher on the wall than everyone else.
Yeah.
That's And I'm happy with that.
Good analogy, mate.
I think that's how Lampard picks his team as well. He just takes the shit and he just throws it at the fan. And then Mason Mount somehow starts in
yeah.
right wing.
That's the corn. It doesn't digest properly. There's always corn in there. Sorry.
All right, man.
Yeah, on that.
All right, guys. Well, I do just want to thank one more time our sponsors, sportsvids.com. If you're looking for the perfect Christmas gift for your friend and you want to send them a video message from football legends like Ian Bishop, Shaun Goater, Tony...
ligaments.
He'll talk about his ligaments all day if you want him to. That's Ian Bishop, Shaun Goater, Tony Cottee, John Hartson, Neil Razor Ruddock, and many others like Matt Tissier, Phil Thompson, and Paul Merson. They've also got some other superstars from boxing, Olympics, and darts. But it's the perfect gift to get somebody. If you want to type up a script and send it to these sports stars, you can, and they'll send you a video back and they'll address it to your friend. It's a great gag gift or a good motivational gift in these hard times that some of us are feeling right now. Go to sportsvids.com and order your video. I do want to also say a thank you to manscaped.com. They've just released their new Weed Whacker nose and ear trimmer. I did try the nose and the ear trimmer. And I feel like I can smell and hear a little better than I used to. I've never done it before, but it's great, isn't it? I mean, their products they've got the skin safe technology.
You've never trimmed your nose.
I've never trimmed my nose or ear hairs, so for 28 years.
You couldn't smell the vodka.
No, I couldn't smell the vodka, but I should probably go trim up and try and smell it. So, it's all thanks to the Weed Whacker, really. I mean, I can hear it as well. Have you ever heard vodka? If you get the Weed Whacker and trim your ears, you'll be able to hear it. So that's the vodka talking.
You're banned from the PFA Awards. Yeah.
So make sure to check out manscaped.com. They're forever changing the grooming game with their Weed Whacker. Thank you, Manscaped, for keeping our downstairs trimmed and our ear hairs looking nice. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code BISH at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code BISH. All right, guys, I do also want to say we do have the new 5 Pints on a shirt available at 5pintsin.com/shop. I'm looking forward to how those look. Once we get them ordered in, they're on their way. So,
give me my down, eh?
Yeah,
and I'll send it with the Chelsea shirts.
And also, if you're enjoying the podcast, we really appreciate those who support on patreon.com/5pintsin. You're buying the rounds for us, and we do really appreciate that. My Heineken with vodka, I appreciate that. All right, guys. Well, it was good having a drink with you guys. Talk to you next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.